Fenwick Friar girls take on the Burlington Grizzly girls in a fierce matchup in the Chicago Metro Hockey League. My name's Anthony Pasquale alongside David Ventura. We'll have Jenna Rose from the Blackhawks on ice level with us shortly. David, the fifth game of our rivalry series has finally arrived. How excited are you for this one?
Super excited, Anthony. Like you said, the last of the Blackhawks rivalry series game this year for the 2024-2025 season. And I tell you what, this is excellent. The Chicago Blackhawks being able to put these games on and really growing high school hockey, not only in the boys division, but as well as the girls division. As you can see here, this matchup.
Absolutely. We have the third place team in the Founders League, the Burlington Grizzlies, against the fourth place team in the Scholastic division, the Fenwick Friars. But before we get into that, let's recap some of the other rivalry series games that we've had in partnership with the Chicago Blackhawks rivalry series with J&M Media. Deerfield beat Highland Park 7-2. The DuPage Stars beat Lyons Township 8-5. St. Rita defeated Mount Carmel 4-2. And Lake Forest beat Carmel Catholic 4-1 in that outdoor game just about a month ago, and now this is our fifth and final game. It's been a heck of a series this season.
Anthony, it has, and you know what? We haven't had a Blackhawks rivalry series game this year in overtime, so I'm hoping this final one is going to be the one that does get into overtime, get some interesting action there, but, you know, of course, that's up to the players, not up to us, so we'll see what happens. Get a good look here at both teams. Fenwick, pretty light on players today. Don't have a head count on me right now, but it looks like about 9 skaters. So we'll see if they get more throughout the course of the game.
Certainly, their head coach, Mason Strom, we were able to talk with him a little bit before this game. He talked about how excited his team was to play in this rivalry series. But he mentioned the first time they played against Burlington this season, and this time they will be a little bit shorthanded. So we'll see what they'll be able to do. Some of the keys to the game he mentioned were to be patient, because when you have some skaters who maybe aren't as used to playing with each other or playing some more ice time than usual, some of those breakthroughs don't happen until a little bit later in the game. You take a look at the Burlington Grizzlies team, one of the best players in the state, Chloe Arians, 13 goals, 6 assists, 19 points on the season. She leads all skaters on both teams in those regards.
Yeah, and, you know, one thing about girls hockey, especially at the level, you know, my sister, who is a sophomore in high school, plays on that Glenbrook girls team, is, you know, these girls are double roster. They play on the club team as well as the high school team, so they're getting a ton of reps, and the club team is the priority for them. So a lot of these girls play on other club teams. You can see actually the Darien Hawks, they're on that Grizzlies bench, and you got a lot of AAA players too, right? Tri-City, Mission, and as well as TI. So girls from all teams, as you can actually see on that Grizzlies team, you got one of the girls there in a red helmet. So you got girls from all different teams, you know, coming together and playing some high school hockey.
Without a doubt, there you see in net right now, Savannah Alexander. She's going to be getting the start for the Burlington Grizzlies. She's got a 2.18 goals against average this season with a 4-2-1 record. Truly one of the best goaltenders in this conference.
Yeah, and that's something that's very important in you know, in hockey in general, right, is do you have a solid goalie? And they have that too. Another thing to take note of, Anthony, is the girls' high school games typically are played on Sunday because the club teams are getting back from their tournament then, so that's when they're able to get the most amount of players at their game. So this is going to be a little bit different for both teams, with this game being on Saturday night, which is not something that they're used to, but I'm sure, you know, like, you know, we talked to the Fenwick coach yesterday. He said he was looking forward to this being on Saturday night. Certainly,
it's a bit of a prime time slot for them, but it is also part of the reason why they might be a little bit shorthanded, and that goes for both rosters tonight. In net for Fenwick, they will be without the AHL All-Star Emma Richley, who's got a 1.81 goals against average so far this season. It'll be extremely capable number 2, Mikey Romero, in net with a 2.57 goals against average on the season and a 1-2-1 record. Looks like she'll be getting the start for head coach Mason Strom.
And you can see the split there from Richley and Romero. Almost pretty even in terms of games played. Richley with 7 and Romero with 5. We'll see how Romero performs for the Fenwick Friars. Actually, Richley, one of the girls that's on my sister's team, so playing at the Glenview Stars game right now against the Madison City Badgers. So their second game today and that's why she wasn't able to be at this game, as well as, obviously, like we said earlier, a few other girls unable to attend to.
Absolutely, and we've talked about this before. What makes this series great is the rivalries that we've gotten to showcase for you. Well, what makes the rivalry between Fenwick and Burlington? Well, part of it comes from head coach Mason Strom of Fenwick. He used to coach head coach of Burlington, Sochi Reiskamp, back at Robert Morris University when she was in college. So a really cool story there, and now they get to match up against each other here in the rivalry series.
Yeah, it just goes to show you that, kind of once you get in hockey, you almost never leave, Anthony. Whether you're playing for a while. Obviously, I played 3 years of high school hockey because I was Bantam eligible my freshman year, and now I'm hopping in on the broadcast booth. So, once you leave, you never get out, and these two coaches are showing that there, just their love for the game.
Absolutely. This is Burlington, I believe, their 4th season in the Metro Girls Hockey League. And their matchups with Fenwick over the years have been increasingly tight. And it looks like we've got another very special one on deck for you today to cap off the rivalry series. The 2024-2025 Chicago Blackhawks rivalry series is presented by Body Armor, the premium sports drink that provides superior hydration. Don't miss out on the scores and highlights from this season's previous matchups. Visit blackhawks.com/amateur for scores, highlights, and more.
And actually, Anthony, something else to point out, too, is the Fenwick girls team, after this year, they have York girls rostered on their team. York is getting their own girls hockey team next year. So you can just see the growth of the game in that regard. A lot of the girls teams have multiple schools associated with them. So Fenwick's going to make the split. York's going to have their own team, and Fenwick will remain, assuming they can get enough bodies on the team. So that just goes to show you the growth of girls high school hockey these past few years.
Absolutely. That's something Coach Mason Strom mentioned. He's going to miss some of the players that he's going to lose during that, but it is a testament to the growth of the sport, which is certainly a good thing. Both teams gathering around their nets as we approach puck drop here at Paul Ruby Ice Arena.
And actually, Anthony, both teams light on players today, so it's not like one team has the advantage over the other in terms of the amount of ice time the other teams, or more how tired the other team is going to get. It's pretty even on both sides, so using that as an excuse is not going to be a good one, at least for this game. So at least in that regard, both teams are even in terms of numbers.
And absolutely doing the ceremonial puck drop for Fenwick will be Sarah Stedman, the 2019 Fenwick alum and state champion. And then for Burlington, it'll be Trinity Alexander, an alumni and founding player of the Burlington Grizzlies. Let's send it down to Jenna Rose for our public address.
time crochet rice camp. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineup for your Fenwick Friars. Starting at defense, number 8, Gabby Lidu. Also starting at defense, number 21, Kate Mulvihill. Left wing, number 18, Molly Randerlick. Right wing, number 13, Eleanor Rose Smiley. Outside number 9, Brooke Bobo. Starting at goaltender, number 30, Mikey Romero. Coached by Nathan Strong. Will the two team captains please report to center ice for tonight's ceremonial puck drops, accompanied first by Grizzlies alumni and founding member Trinity Alexander. Please welcome Trinity! Next, let's please welcome Sarah Stackpole. Sarah is a Fenwick hockey alumni and 2019 state champion. Let's give her a warm welcome. Now, please rise if able and remove all caps and join us for the singing of the national anthem by Fenwick's a cappella group.
A fresh 13 minutes up on the clock as we prepare for the 5th and final game of the 2024-2025 Chicago Blackhawks Rivalry Series. We touched on it in the open. It's the Fenwick Friars against the Burlington Grizzlies girls. And we've got a great matchup on tap, for you all.
And Anthony, how about that national anthem performance there by the
Didn't even need the
Fenwick,
microphone.
the Fenwick a cappella group, huh? I was actually looking over at Luke, our cameraman, for today, and we were impressed, to say the least.
Definitely a fantastic rendition, one of the best. I think the anthems in hockey top the anthems in every other sport, and tonight was just another great example of that.
Especially when you're at the UC here in Jim Corneliuson, right?
Without a doubt. I even saw Luke, like you mentioned, give a nice point to the American flag, just like Jim does in the middle of his rendition. The team's getting their final words from their coaches as they prepare for this rivalry series. You mentioned typically they play on Sunday evenings. You've got a Saturday evening slot. The Blackhawks come. Tommy Hawk is skating on the ice. How do you settle down the emotions and just play your sport right now?
Well, and then the other big thing, for this game is you got a ton of people in attendance, right? There's a ton of cameras on you. Actually, see Gerard Boris has got the camera right over the bench. It's hard for a high schooler to not look at the camera, right? But they just got to be able to settle in. And I'm sure once they get a few shifts, 1 to 3 shifts under their belt, they'll get right back in the swing of things. But it's hard to, focus in prior to the game time when you got a ton of cameras and Blackhawks setting everything up before the game. It's not easy, but once they get a few shifts in under their belt, should be smooth sailing from there. And actually, Anthony, you got a head count. So the Burlington girls have 9 skaters and a goaltender, and Fenwick has 10 skaters. So obviously both teams shorthanded. There's going to be a lot of ice time for both teams, and we'll see what happens throughout the course of this game.
Should be pretty easy for us to get to know all of these players. They will be on the ice quite a bit as the opening draw is won by the Burlington girls, and we are underway. It's handled behind the net by Ashbaugh. She sends it up the far side boards, but it's taken away by Fenwick, who starts their first offensive rush. Wunderlich fires one to the net and a little bit high, and it rings all the way around the boards.
Yeah, would have liked to see that shot just a little lower, maybe off the pad, create a rebound. But instead that one sailed high and almost created a free breakout for Burlington.
Ledoux with a giveaway in the neutral zone, and it ends up being taken. Wunderlich pinning a couple of players up against the boards, and it finally gets taken away by Ledoux, and she sends it off the boards, trying to connect with her teammate, and taking it into the offensive end is Eleanor Rose Smiley, but she lost the handle on it. Now it comes loose near the point. Ledoux trying to figure out whether to shoot or to pass it, and I believe the net just bounced off its moorings, and we get our first whistle of the evening.
Yeah, the net bounced off there as Wunderlich collides in the net. Not sure if she got shoved into the back of the net or not, but nevertheless, it comes off. The draw, however, is going to remain inside the zone for the Friars, so they'll have a offensive zone look as opposed to it coming outside the zone, so I got to imagine that she was shoved into the net.
Reese Mangano took and won the draw. Here's Ledoux from the point, firing one just a little bit wide.
Man, how about that windup? She had a ton of time and space for the windup, and that one just misses on the left side.
She does a good job to keep it in the zone for Fenwick as they pinch on the far side, trying to maintain possession of the puck and stop the breakout from the Burlington Grizzlies. Grizzlies with a little bit of space on the far side, trying to get a centering pass near center ice, but Ledoux takes it away and winds it back up the other direction. Isabella hooks there to retrieve it, and there's a little bit of a tie-up on the near side boards, trying to secure a loose puck. And ringing it behind the boards was Burlington, and it's taken by Gemma Flaming, and she gets it out to the neutral zone.
So, Anthony, something I always mention playing at Ridgeland or Paul Harubi Ice Arena, I didn't mention this up until now, but the ceilings are super low by both goaltenders, so pucks are going to find an easy time kind of deflecting up into the ceiling, and this is, one of the only rinks that you play at in the Illinois area where the roof slants down towards the net, so very interesting design to this ice rink.
Yeah, it really looks like the old-fashioned barns that they used to make ice rinks out of. As that one is fired on net. And it's a goal. Eleanor Rose Smiley.
How about that shot? She just goes just under the blocker, just above the pad of Alexander. Gives Fenwick an early 1-0 lead. She cut across the ice there. It's a nice play.
Absolutely. Fired it right over that right pad like you mentioned. At first, I thought Alexander made the save.
One, actually, Anthony, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I think, from my understanding, when we were talking to the Fenwick coach yesterday, he told us that she wasn't going to be here today.
He did.
Okay.
He said that she might not be here. I had her crossed off on my roster sheet, and she comes away with the first goal of the evening and the first goal of this final game of the 2024-2025 Blackhawks Rivalry Series, Eleanor Rowe Smiley.
Well, listen, we made the adjustment, right? That's all that really matters.
It's always a game of adjustments. Doesn't matter if you're in the booth or on the ice. Chasing after that loose puck behind the net is Danielle Shaw, and she rings it on the near side. Fenwick trying to keep it. Some good pressure near the blue line to pinch and keep the possession, but Sagebrecht takes it away. She represented Burlington in the Metro Girls All-Star game a couple weeks back. One of 3 All-Stars in Burlington. Play stays onside. Here's Ledoux skating near the circle, putting one on net off the pad. That's more what you want to see, trying to create a rebound attempt. Let's see if she does the same thing here. Ledoux, this time looking for a centering pass, but it gets knocked away. Sagebrecht has a step, and she'll win the race to the puck. She'll dump it in and chase after it. And all the way to the far side board, she gets to the puck first. But Ledoux and Fenwick able to take it back. Fighting toward the net, Reese Mangano, but it gets taken away by Burlington, and they'll start to rush up the other way near center ice and cruising into the offensive end, Chloe Arians.
You know what, Anthony? I think that might have been offsides there.
Arians tries to get into the slot, gets past a few defenders. She shoots just a little bit high. Chloe Arians knifing through the defense of the Friars. Got an open look, just couldn't cash in.
Yeah, you see her. She's got that TI equipment on there. That's actually rare for a Saturday game for that Team Illinois Mission Tri-City to be in town for this one. So I'm sure Burlington is lucky to have her here. I'm sure she's going to bury one, more than likely 2 goals tonight is my guess. But of course, we'll see what happens.
That shot fought off by Romero. And coming quickly back the other way, Mulvihill. Kate Mulvihill with a step onto the backhand and a nice pad save by Alexander. And the net once again comes undone.
Wow, how about that pad save there by Alexander as Mulvihill just gets a step past the Burlington defense. And she almost buries that. But I tell you what, Alexander, she's got the C on her chest as a goalie. Not something we see, but is actually becoming a little bit more common in high school hockey. And she's able to get to that left post there and make a big pad save.
And Burlington is able to secure the defensive zone draw. Trying to get a zone exit, but Fenwick quickly coming back the other way. This time Wunderlich. Play was barely onside, and now Wunderlich will peel it back around. That time it is on offside, I should say.
I
and
think
it seemed like everybody in the building knew it.
I think you and I both know that first play was offsides, Anthony. But, of course, and that's actually why you're taught at such a young age to not make a move at the blue line, right? Because you just ruin – it's hard for someone else to read, your other teammate to read the fact that you are going to make a move at the blue line. That's why you go inside the zone on sides, then you can make a move, as opposed to having an outside the zone face-off draw and ruining that offensive chance that you do have.
Fenwick wins the draw. Wunderlich able to dump it into the offensive end. And it's fought for in the neutral zone. Burlington unable to come away with it. Instead, Mulvihill knifing through the defense, slides back to center ice, and Rose Smiley, the lone goal scorer thus far. And the puck is still loose in the neutral zone. About 6 minutes gone by in this one. Fenwick on top early, 1-0, as Mia Sullivan fights for it on the far side boards. A good keep by Burlington is going to create an odd man rush. Sagebrecht tried a backhanded pass to centering, looking for Colleen Setkowski, but it was just out of her reach, and Fenwick will take it back the other way.
Man, Fenwick almost got caught on a turnover there. I would have liked to see Rose Smiley just chip that just a little bit sooner. Fenwick actually would have had a 2-on-1. That puck was chipped just a little bit sooner, but unfortunately they were unable to do so.
Sadkowski couldn't control it, but Sage Breck can. Here she comes. Drops it back for Sullivan. And blowing a tire, trying to start the rush the other way, was Isabella Hooks. Now Sadkowski will dump it in. Burlington looking for some more shots on goal. They have given it away in their offensive zone a couple of times already this evening. Stick handling near center ice, Chloe Arians. She took it coast to coast her last time, showcasing her speed. Here she comes with a head of steam through the neutral zone. On the near side, getting chased by Mulvihill. She stops. They both tumble to the ice, and the puck is loose behind the net. Finally covered up by Ella Scotty, somebody that Coach Mason Strom told us to keep an eye out for, and she'll be easy to spot with the pink.
Yeah, same thing on that Burlington roster. Sullivan's got the pink socks too.
Mulvihill looking for a centering pass, gets her stick tied up. A nice defensive effort there from Dobrez.
And actually, Anthony, the reason for the pink socks is I'm almost 99% sure that Mission's Pink the Rink was today. So they just got those socks, actually probably today.
Yeah, I was going to say there are a few players on Fenwick also wearing the pink socks. They must be potentially even teammates on their club teams. As the puck gets sent back into the Fenwick offensive zone, Alexander there to chase it. She'll throw it off the boards for her teammate. On the far side, Juliet Otto to secure. And Fenwick takes it back the other way. Scotty skates in, has a step, walks in, tries to whistle her way to the net. She gets there, and a nice glove save made by Alexander denies her of the chance.
Wow, how about that? So Scotty wasn't able to bury it there, but I tell you what, she does a really good job of protecting the puck with her left foot when Shaw was trying to defend her. Unable to get a ton of time and space once she did approach Alexander, but was still able to get a shot off. But I tell you what, that puck protection was excellent there.
4:46 to go in the first period. You're watching the Chicago Blackhawks Rivalry Series presented by Body Armor, the premium sports drink that provides superior hydration. A centering pass just barely missed the stick of Ashley Ashbaugh, and Fenwick will take it up the other way. Scotty with a head of steam. Near the slot, Scotty. And a nice pad save by Alexander. Scotty gets it right back on the far side, absorbs a check, sends it back to the blue line, and a nice keep from Fenwick extends their offensive possession. But another nice save from Alexander, who has denied Scotty a couple of times in this opening frame. To center ice it goes, and it's sticked ahead. Ashbaugh touches it, and Burlington will go for a much-needed change. The other problem with having such few players is it's harder to get those changes done.
And actually, Anthony, where it's really going to become a problem is in the second period with that long change. And obviously, they'll be more tired in the third, but the long change is really tough because you are going to see players out there for 2+ minute shifts.
Without a doubt. It feels like Fenwick has already had a couple of players. Gabby Ledoux feels like she's been on the ice almost this entire game. And here comes Kate Mulvihill. Has a step, working one-on-one, trying to get to the net, and she's tied up again by Dobrez. And Dobrez tumbles to the ice behind the net. She gets up slowly, and it gets fought all the way back to center ice, and it's taken by Ledoux. Ledoux will safely ring it back behind her net. And on the far side boards, Mulvihill will take it. Tries a stretch pass looking for Ashbaugh, or excuse me, that's Wunderlich. Wunderlich loses control, and coming up the other way, Mia Sullivan with a head of steam through the neutral zone. Tried a backhanded pass, but it goes right to the tape of Mulvihill. Mulvihill will start the rush back up the other way for Fenwick and leave a drop pass. Into the slot, Mulvihill turns, fires, and just misses wide as she falls to the ice. Sullivan touches it, and it comes back to center ice. Alexander Sullivan fired that one and a nice save made.
Anthony right off the dome of Romero. And that is not a good feeling as a goaltender.
Hey, it's part of the uniform. If you have to use it, you have to use it. Arians just missed that touch, and it'll go all the way down the length of the ice for icing.
Well, actually, Anthony, I would say normally, as a goaltender, you need to avoid the shots hitting your head, but but her head doesn't clear the crossbar by much. So when she is in a goaltending position, if it misses her head, it probably ends up in the back of the net. So, in that regard, I think I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Burlington wins the draw. Flaming working it up the near side, trying to get it to Otto, but nice forecheck from Fenwick. Secures possession for the Friars. Picking it up on the far side, Stella Newmeyer. And she loses control, and it comes all the way back near center ice and into the neutral zone. It'll be retrieved by Carmen Dietz. Burlington fighting to keep it in their offensive zone as we're under a minute and a half left in the period. Burlington looking for their first goal. Will they get it here? Denied by Romero.
Wow, giveaway right out in front. Martinez with a big chance for Burlington, and nice pad save.
Look at Scotty all the way and just misses.
Not sure if that caught the pad of Alexander there. I'm sure we'll get a look at the replay at a whistle, but Scotty's going to have another look here.
Ellis Scotty loses it behind the net. Tries to find a teammate. A centering pass finds in the slot. Looking for it was Mangano, but she gets it knocked away. Now Scotty has it once more.
Yeah, Scotty was actually trying to bank that off of Alexander from the goal line, and she realized that Alexander was on the post. She turned around and decided not to shoot it.
Scotty looks to be a little bit tired. She's been on the ice for a while. And Mangano gets it in the slot, and another just wide. Not sure if a save was made or not. Eleanor Rose Smiley looking for her second.
Yeah, I think that just missed the net there, Anthony, but nevertheless, good shot idea, right? Going for that blocker side corner as she was skating, shoot or skate right, shoot left, and that one almost gets past Alexander, but just missing the net.
9.5 seconds left in the period.
Yeah, you get a good look there of initially the Burlington chance, unable to do it. Here's Scotty's look. Oh, man, that doesn't catch the pad of Alexander. She actually just mishandled that a little bit, and actually she would have had some elevation on that. That for sure would have gone in the back of the net. Obviously, assuming that the puck was going to hit the net, but
and with time
really
winding down in the period, Fenwick leads 1-0 over Burlington after one period of play in the Blackhawks rivalry series. We're going to send it down to ice level with the Blackhawks' very own Jenna Rose standing by with Mason Strom, Fenwick's head coach. Jenna?
All right. Hi, everybody. We're joined by Eleanor Rose Smiley. She was able to get things going. We got the back of the net here tonight. What was key in that moment?
Just shoot the puck. Really, look for the open spot in the net and shoot it. So.
Well, I love that you and your team are bringing the aggression. What will it take to continue applying pressure here in the upcoming second period?
Just smart plays, making good passes, using each other. Yeah.
All right. It's all about teamwork. Thank you so much for your time. Wishing you the best of luck. All right. Sending it back upstairs to you guys.
Thank you, Jenna, and thank you, Eleanor Rose Smiley, for chatting. Coach Strom busy talking to his team. Eleanor Rose Smiley scored the game's opening goal in that first period, and she was looking for a second one late in that period. Fenwick applying most of the offensive pressure. Burlington, what do they need to do in this period, David, to get one on the board and, more importantly, just get some more scoring chances?
I mean, Anthony, obviously both teams are really relying on their key players here. And for Burlington, that's Sullivan. But, something they need to do a better job of is taking advantage when Fenwick turns the puck over. I mean, obviously they had that one chance down there, and I actually believe that was Martinez who had that look. She wasn't able to bury. But, again, taking advantage when the other team makes a mistake is really what's going to win you games because, whether it's capitalizing on a power play or mistakes, like I said, that's what takes, that's what wins you games.
And now we enter period number 2, the period of the long change. And with both teams with less than 12 players dressed, this certainly makes for a challenging second period.
That's right, Anthony, you said it. Second period is going to be the hardest for these girls. Obviously, they're not going to be as tired as they are going to be in the third, but changing is difficult because ideally you want to change when you're in the offensive zone, but the bench is on the complete opposite side from the zone.
Typically, would that lead to more odd man rushes or just less offense in general in a period like this? As that shot never got through.
I actually thought that was going to go in the back of the net, so I didn't say anything, Anthony. But, you know, I think it just leads to harder times for them to change. So if you can catch the other team in a change, it probably leads to more offense.
Pass from Ella Rose Smiley. And the shot on goal denied by Alexander. Point blank, a great opportunity for Vogel on the feed from Eleanor Rose Smiley.
Yeah, great centering pass there by Smiley. And Fenwick unable to bury, but I tell you what, there's a reason. Alexander's got the C on her chest. She's able to move from that left post out to the middle of the slot. Makes a big save. Not only that, but she comes out far, taking away all corners of the net. Doesn't give Fenwick many corners to shoot at.
12:22 left in the second period. Fenwick on top 1-0 in our 2024-2025 Chicago Blackhawks rivalry final game.
Yeah, and every time there's a whistle, too, both teams are going to take advantage of that and change their players as frequently as possible.
Here's Mulvihill behind the net trying to free up some space. She's hacking at the puck but can't quite free it up. Fenwick still able to keep. Scotty will peel it back toward the neutral zone. And a nice move frees up some space for her to get ahead of steam. On the near side, Scotty skating into the slot, still securing the puck. Her shot just misses. I couldn't tell if that was fought off by Alexander or if it hit some iron.
Might have hit some iron, Anthony. Again, we'll get a good look of it at the whistle, but I didn't hear a sound at all, so.
That shot, save made by Alexander out in front into the breadbasket.
Yeah, we'll see if Alexander caught a break there or not. I mean, what an opportunity there, obviously. Scotty again with a good shot. Oh, yeah, that does hit iron. Wow.
And here's a look at the save. That one a lot easier for Alexander to secure. She's been excellent for Burlington thus far.
Just an inch away from Fenwick being up 2-0. Burlington catches a break.
Face-off won by the Grizzlies, and they take it up the near side. Streaking toward the net. Had an opportunity to center it instead. The puck is still loose, and it's secured by Fenwick coming back the other way. With a head of steam, it's Brooke Vogel. Vogel trying to free up her forehand. She fires, and Alexander makes a save and uses her stick to usher it back into the glove for a whistle.
Yeah, trying to go 5-hole. There was Vogel, but how about that opportunity there on the other end for Flaming? And she does a good job with puck protection, using her body to make sure that the Fenwick defender is unable to get the puck past her, but then just a good defensive play by Ledoux on the back check, not allowing Burlington to put one in the back of the net.
For goaltenders in this period, David, how important is it to make sure that they secure whistles when they do get saves to allow their team to make those changes?
Super important, right? When the puck's coming at you and you have a chance to freeze it, both goalies need to take advantage of it. A lot of the times you see goaltenders play it, which is normally the right thing to do. But in a situation like this, where both teams in this case are shorthanded and players need to get on and off the ice as fast and as quick as possible, covering the puck up when the opportunity is given is super important.
Burlington peels it back towards center ice. It's Alexander dumping it in. Looked like that may have been a pass, but Mia Sullivan is chasing after it nonetheless. As Burlington has struggled to just generate some chances so far, and Fenwick has looked like the better team. That play barely offside, and the whistle blew. Mangano was just a little bit too quick over the blue line.
Yeah, Fenwick had a little difficulty entering the zone there. Actually, two Fenwick players colliding into each other. Then they go in, retry the zone entry, and they're just off sides. But you know, thankfully for them, it's not going to go all the way down. It's just going to be just outside the zone.
Fenwick wins the draw. And peeling it on the far side into the zone, Ella Scotti wrapping it behind the net, trying to look for somewhere to center it. She'll stop her tracks and free herself up with some nifty stick handling to get the puck to Eleanor Rose Smiley, who just dumps it right back in as the Friars go for a quick change while they have the puck in their offensive zone, and they can. And Alexander looking to stretch it to Mia Sullivan. She's got control, gets it through one player, and it's taken away by Scotti. Scotti, a forward, playing some defense tonight. Just because, like we mentioned, Coach Mason Strom a little bit short-handed, so you've got some players potentially in some uncomfortable roles, showcasing their versatility. Arians knifing her way through the defense, but loses control. Go ahead.
You saw a little mission-on-mission action there. Sullivan defending that for Burlington, and Scotti gets the best of that one as she's able to make that defensive play and save Fenwick from that Burlington chance.
Wunderlich tried to touch that near center ice. Instead, it went all the way down behind the net for an icing, which will give Burlington an offensive zone draw. How important is it for them to just win this draw and get some possession there in the offensive end?
Winning the draw is huge, but you know, there's a few ways to do it, right? It's winning it forward or back. Winning it backwards could create something like this where Fenwick's able to take the puck and go the other way. So that's the one risk with winning it back if your players aren't right there.
Into the slot the puck goes. Mulvihill did a good job just fighting and get the puck all the way down the other end, and she has it on the near side here. Skating her way into the slot, trying to get it to her backhand. The shot, she scores! Kate Mulvihill.
How about that? She finds her way right into the slot, throws a backhand on net, and it just sneaks by Alexander, giving Fenwick the 2-0 lead. We'll get a good look here at the replay so you can see that backhand. Oh, it actually hits off a skate in front.
Right off of Maddie Sagebrecht out in front. It goes off of her skate into the net.
Yeah, and she knows it too. She could see actually after that goal, she throws her head up to the ceiling. Just an unfortunate break there for the Grizzlies, as they were actually getting some good looks to start off the second period, and puck finds the skate of one of their own player, and all of a sudden it's 2-0 Fenwick.
The Friars lead 2-0, but a nice goal gets credited to Mulvihill, although the last one to touch it was the blade of Maddie Sagebrecht. Out in front, Vogel fired one on net, just a little bit too high, and there'll be another draw.
Yeah, I was going to say, Anthony, off of the initial look, it didn't look like it went off a pad or anything, or it actually looked like it went off of something, but I didn't know exactly what it was just because of that redirection it took. Thankfully, we got Jimmy the Wiz Olsen up there in the booth, that replay system. And actually, huge shout out to Gerard Boris, making sure we have those behind the net cams, as those are important because you can't really see that on the replay with the main camera.
Rose Smiley weaving her way in. Might have absorbed a hook there. Referees keep their arms at their side.
No, they're going to call a penalty on that.
There we go. Must have been the other official who called it.
Well, see, Anthony is used to looking for orange bands for the referees, but for the girls' games, there is just the two refs, which act as both linesmen and referees. But nevertheless, we're going to get our first penalty of the game. Burlington is going to be the offender. It's going to be Flaming going to the box for Burlington. And that's going to put Fenwick on the power play. Chance to go up 3-0 with 7:33 left to go in the second.
The power play unit is on for Fenwick. Eleanor Rose Smiley opened the scoring for the game. She takes the draw, and a tie-up ensues. And possession finally secured by Stella Newmeyer and the Friars. Eleanor Rose Smiley with it now, near the circle. Drops it back for Ledoux, and she loses control. It's a foot race, and a good job by Ledoux to keep the puck out of harm's way. Maya Martinez fighting hard to secure that puck for Burlington.
Yeah, that initial puck drop there by Fenwick, right at the point. Not a bad idea, but Ledoux unable to corral it, and she's able to make sure her own mistake doesn't end up in the back of the net as she does a good job on the back check.
Alexander stick handling as Burlington tries to generate some pressure on the shorthand. At the very least, waste as much time as possible. Alexander throws it behind the net. Burlington could go for a change if they wanted to. Looks like they're going to keep all four on the ice for now. Sagebrecht defending, Rowe, Smiley. Circling and dropping it back with a head of steam. Mangano into the slot. The puck is loose. It is recovered and a nice save made by Alexander. She makes another save and covers it up. No, it is still loose behind the net. Mangano takes it, gets it to Eleanor Rowe. Smiley, her shot deflected, and a nice save made once again by Alexander, and Burlington able to clear.
Man,
what a
Anthony,
sequence.
Ton of chaos in front there. Fenwick unable to capitalize. This puck hits off bodies in front.
Vogel's shot, another save made by Alexander. Here comes Scotty, wearing those pink socks. Into the slot she goes, gets herself free, tried to go 5-hole, but a nice poke check there from the goaltender Alexander, who has been sensational on this power play for Burlington. Back to even strength now with 5.5 to go in the second period. Both teams will go for a quick change as Scotty looks for the puck behind the net and is just toying with her defender there as she tries a stretch pass that won't connect with anybody. It goes all the way down the length of the ice for an icing, and we get a chance to catch our breath after some of those saves from Alexander.
Yeah, and actually that initial start to the Fenwick power play didn't really look like a power play, as Burlington was doing a really good job on the defensive end, killing time. But that second half of the power play, I tell you what, Fenwick really took advantage of that, almost able to bury one in the back of the net. As you can see here on the replay system, Alexander with some big saves to keep her team in this one.
And a face-off secured by Burlington, coached by Sochi Reiskamp, who used to play for head coach Mason Strom at Robert Morris back in the day. And now they're both coaching teams in the Chicago Metro Girls Hockey League.
And one of the things that's really interesting about how they do the seeding for the girls high school hockey is they have them in two divisions, kind of like you said at the very start of this broadcast, right? These two teams are in two separate divisions. They actually play games to get placed in those divisions. Barrington in that lower division, obviously they're undefeated, a very big powerhouse team in the high school area, but because of that, they won't get a high seed when it comes to state. So we'll see how far they make it in that, but normally Barrington's the 1 or 2.
I believe they won the state championship last season at the United Center.
They did, getting that 1 seed, but this year they're going to get a lower seed because of the division that they're in. Obviously, they rely heavy on those mission players.
Scotty starts to charge the other way. She's wide open, a centering pass. Oh, what a save by Alexander. Beautiful feed and a wide open look at the net. Mulvihill eyeing her second goal of the game. And instead, it was denied by Alexander. Let's take another look.
Wow, how about that? I think Anthony and I up here in the booth both thought Scotty was going to shoot it. She decides to move it over. Really smart play there, as no one was on Mulvihill. She gets actually a really good shot off, but I tell you what, Alexander going post to post makes a big pad save.
It's early, but that could very well be our Wintrust save of the game. Romero sticks that aside, and Fenwick able to start the charge the other way. Into the neutral zone it comes. Alexander with a giveaway near the blue line. Fenwick aggressive on the forecheck, trying to generate a possession. Ledoux keeps it in.
Actually, that was the linesman or the referee that kept that one in.
And Sagebrecht takes it up the other way for Burlington on the far side with a step. Skates in. Her shot did not find net. Sagebrecht again throws it on net. Ledoux has to clean up the mess, wrap it around the near side with 3 minutes to go in the period. As the period is starting to wind down, we will have a full intermission with an ice cut in between periods 2 and 3. Here's Alexander skating through the neutral zone with a step. Alexander fires one. It's loose for a moment, covered up. It's still loose, but a quick whistle blows.
Yeah,
And
listen,
you see Tommy
Anthony,
Hawk hanging out with a couple of fans here.
Anthony, something I always say is, when the referee blows a whistle early is they got such a tough vantage point from where they are. You see players kind of holding back a little bit, and that's when the whistle goes, and that puck just drops out of nowhere. So clearly didn't really make much effect on the play, but such a hard call for the official to make, at least from where his vantage point is.
Right, and if they weren't quick with those whistles, you'd have plenty of times where the goalie has possession of the puck
And gets
and
whacked.
a body crashes into them. So it is a safety measure. As Scotty comes up with some speed again, stick handling, she keeps it this time, and it deflects off the shoulder of Alexander. Another nice save made by 94.
So,
in
Anthony,
gray.
like I was telling you in the broadcast before the game, Fenwick just got an addition to their team, so Claire Kodowitz now on the ice, who was not there for the start of the game, but it's just made her way back from her club game.
And she wears number 7 for Fenwick. She's skating to the right of Mangano, who has the puck right now. That's Kodowitz with it, who slaps it on net, and a save made by Alexander. Carmen Dietz able to keep it in. And we're under 2 minutes to play in the second period. Fenwick on top of Burlington 2-0, a goal scored in each period so far. Kate Mulvihill scored the goal in this period, and Eleanor Rose Smiley opened up scoring in period number 1. Scotty frees up the puck at the neutral zone. She's got Mulvihill to her left. Now Scotty driving toward the net, gets it knocked away. A nice play by the captain, Gemma Flaming. Gene Honda on recording alerts the crowd that there is 1 minute left in the period. As Wunderlich fights for the puck on the near side and frees it up for Mulvihill in the slot. A backhand pass to Wunderlich, and a nice glove save made by Alexander.
Oh, how about that glove save there by Alexander? Really nice passing play from Wunderlich to get that to Mulvihill. I tell you what, that's just would have liked to see actually the past 3-4 minutes. Would have liked to see Fenwick move the puck a little more. Something like that play right there. Just a perfect passing play. Unfortunately for them, unable to bury it as Alexander made that save look really easy.
She has made quite a few excellent saves. And we're only about 26 minutes through of hockey. Ledoux near the blue line, tries to fire it through a couple of bodies, and the puck never got through. Scotty couldn't keep it in, and the offsides whistle will blow. We've only had one penalty that required a power play or penalty kill, but we have had plenty of offsides.
That's right, Anthony, we have. And actually something that a lot of these girls are used to at the club level is there's no delayed offsides for them. That's actually one of the rules AHI, I think, should probably change, as well as you can't ice it on the penalty kill. But obviously that's a little different for the high school games.
Into the slot, Fenwick comes, a beautiful backdoor pass, another pad save from Alexander, and she gobbles it up with 8.5 left in the period. What a sensational effort working from post to post again.
Another decent passing play there by Fenwick. You can see there just Alexander doing a really good job getting across from that left to that right post. I actually think that puck should have been dropped up there to Vogel. She had a better look, but again, the pass attempt was made, so right idea there by the Friars.
Scotty sent that one on net. It never got through, and it goes to the far side corner as time expires here in period number 2. Fenwick on top of Burlington 2-0 after 2 periods. Goals from Eleanor Rose Smiley and Kate Mulvihill. You're watching the 2024-2025 Chicago Blackhawks Rivalry Series presented by Body Armor. It will conclude after tonight's game. Don't miss out on the scores and highlights from this season's previous matchups. Visit blackhawks.com/amateur for scores, highlights, and more. We'll be back for the third period of action right after this.
It's time for Shoot the Puck, and Brielle has great chances to make it 3 minutes long. If she does so, she'll get some exclusive autographs
All right, everybody, welcome back to the third period here as we had a brief intermission, some shoot the puck. Had some girls come out, opportunity to do one in the back of the net, just like one player from each team actually yesterday was at the Chicago Blackhawks game between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Tampa Bay Lightning. One player from each team. The special opportunity to do that. And some of the younger girls had the opportunity to do that in this game. Fenwick leads this game 2-0. Again, for the reminder for the folks at home, we are doing 13-minute periods. Grizzlies down 2-0, and they're going to need to find a way to get back in this one. Puck goes up top, shot from the point, and that one just misses the net. Fenwick able to corral the puck. Mungano moves it up, and here comes Rose Smiley with the puck. Down the left side. She's got an opportunity, tries to move it over to Kodowitz, and unable to connect are the Friars. And here come the Grizzlies the other way. Good stick by Dietz to break that one up. Kodowitz drops it back, and the puck finds her. She gets hooked, and no call there from the officials as her glove comes off in the process. And the puck goes out in front, and that's going to find the captain for Burlington. And Fenwick able to intercept. So I got to make way for my broadcast partner, Anthony. I think he thought there was going to be an ice cut. And that fooled him because there was no ice cut in between. And listen, for the folks at home, there's a reason why I do the color and not the play-by-play.
11:38 to go here in the third period. Fenwick on top, 2-0 still. And the face-off secured on the near side by Burlington, still looking for their first goal of the contest. Knifing into the offensive zone. A shot from Alexander never got through. Good defense there by Fenwick. They've been excellent all game long on the defensive end, presenting and preventing shots. Getting in their passing lanes, keeping their sticks down on the ice. They always say that's one of the most important things as a defensive player here in the sport. Keep your stick on the ice, get in those passing lanes, defend. And Fenwick has done an excellent job. Wunderlich tried a centering pass. Mulvihill looking for her second of the evening. Scotty knifing her way through, trying to weave all the way to the net, but it gets knocked away.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty.
And we do have a whistle behind the play.
That's going to be Fenwick's first power play of this game, and it's going to be in the third period. Mulvihill's going to go to the box. I imagine that's going to be a checking call, but obviously we'll await for the official call. And it's actually going to be roughing. But nevertheless, it's going to send Burlington to the power play with 10:24 left to go in the third. I think this is a big opportunity to put themselves back in this game. You can see they got their big five out there. You see the TI Sox, Chicago Hawks, as well as the, obviously, Sullivan from the Mission as well.
There you
see
see
if they can bury that.
a great camera angle from the penalty box. Gerard Boris capturing the guilty Mulvihill. And here comes Arians all the way toward the net, and a pad save made by Romero. Haven't had to call her name too much, but Mikey Romero has made the save she's needed to in this contest without a doubt. Here's Scotty working on the backhand, trying to fire a shorthanded shot off, and it's gobbled up.
That one actually almost sneaks by Alexander, but you get a good look of it here. She's able to swallow that one up. It actually almost sneaks under her blocker just above the pad. And Anthony, like you said, Gerard Boris, that great camera work of the guilty Mulvihill in the penalty box.
Here comes Sullivan on the near side. Burlington looking for their first goal of the contest. The power play seemed to present a really good opportunity to do so. But Fenwick, who has been so suffocating defensively all evening, has kept it up on the the penalty kill for the Friars. Losing her stick there, but keeping the puck in the offensive end. Violet Fatino, our first look at her. I wonder if she is another one of those late arrivals, as the Burlington bench seems to be a little fuller as we enter the third period. Alexander gets it to the captain.
Yeah, Burlington is up
Flaming.
to 12 players now. And I will actually go ahead and count Fenwick, but I know they got Kodowitz. So that adds a player to the roster. So both teams have been adding players to the roster throughout the game, which I don't think I'll ever say again, to be honest with you.
It's a fluid roster. Here comes Arians. Arians into the slot. Her shot. She scores! Chloe Arians gives Burlington the answer they needed.
How about that move there by Arians? Gets through Mangano, and man, what a shot there. Doesn't go for those top left corners, but listen, if you're going to put the puck in the back of the net, you don't need to do that. She's able to have no problem there, bearing it, giving the, now just a 1-goal deficit for Burlington, which is key, especially with 8:36 to go in the third period. Now all of a sudden we got a hockey game.
We certainly do. Fenwick still on top 2-1. Gerard Boris capturing some nice camera angles of the bench reactions. Burlington desperately needed that goal. And there's a much delayed goal horn to celebrate the Burlington Grizzlies' first goal of the evening.
Well, so listen, Anthony, like I said, we haven't had a game, or Blackhawks Rivalry Series game, go in overtime. I would like to see this be the first one, but Burlington's got to find a way to bury another one.
Absolutely, and they also have to stop Fenwick from putting one in the back of the net, which is certainly on their mind right now. Ledoux keeps it in at the blue line. Fogle drives into the slot, frees herself up. She scores! What an answer from Vogel.
It's just a classic hockey play there by Vogel. A little skate left, shoot right, and she goes on that glove side. Pass Alexander, and just as I was saying, maybe we can have a game in overtime. Fenwick regains that 2-goal lead. Then a minute of the Burlington Grizzlies putting one in the back of their net, and all of a sudden, Fenwick's got that 2-goal lead back.
3-1 is our score at Paul Ruby Ice Arena. This is the final game of the 2024-2025 Blackhawks Rivalry Series. Deerfield beat Highland Park 7-2. The DuPage Stars beat Lyons Township 8-5. St. Rita beat Mount Carmel 4-2. Lake Forest beat Carmel Catholic in our outdoor game 4-1. And right now Fenwick on top of Burlington 3-1 midway through the third period. And they're looking for more. Here's Wunderlich on the near side driving up. She's got Mulvihill behind her, who has scored a goal this evening as well. Mulvihill with a centering pass looking for Wunderlich, and it's loose out in front of the net, still fought for and finally covered up by Alexander, who has made her fair share of excellent saves this evening.
Yeah, and she's able to stay on that post, make sure that nothing bounces off. Actually see oftentimes players, and the net actually just squeaks off there, but you see players oftentimes try to bank one off the goalie, catch them off the post, but she stays on the post there. Not a problem there for the Grizzlies.
Beautiful job there. Let's see if they can turn defense into offense, as Fenwick still driving to try to stretch the lead, and Alexander forced to cover it up once more. My mistake, we did have a goalie change entering the third period. That's Cecilia Weilenberg in there in net now for Burlington. My apologies. Didn't see it until we got that
catch that either.
Back goal cam just now. That's not number 94 anymore. That's number 30, Cecilia Weilenberg. Got these Blackhawks Rivalry Series, both goaltenders getting a chance to play. I believe we only had one goaltender dressed for the first period, so she might have been in that late arrival edition as well.
That's right.
Scotty driving to the net on the backhand, and a nice save made there by Weilenberg.
So how about that? They get added skaters and a goaltender. And Weilenberg's going to, without a warm-up.
She makes another save.
That's right. Well, listen, this has got to be a first for me, and probably for you too, where we're adding players on the fly.
Like I said back in the first period, sometimes it's a game of adjustments, even up here in the booth. We originally thought Eleanor Rose Smiley was among those that wouldn't attend. She scored the game's first goal. Have a few nice saves here in the third period. We find out they're made by a goaltender that just entered the game. And what a job she's doing, Cecilia Weilenberg. She might have another chance to make a save here. And she does, right off the Burlington logo in her chest. Able to make the save.
Yeah, she's going to freeze that one up. Give her team a chance to change. Still got 6 minutes left, 6 minutes and 8 seconds left. So still a lot of time for the Grizzlies to come back. She's got to average 1 goal every 3 minutes.
And we'll see if they're able to do it as Scotty drives one toward the net just wide. We've talked about her windup near the point. Her and Ledoux both firing some nice slap shots toward the net. Haven't gotten them on net yet. And almost generating a takeaway here is Burlington. But Fenwick able to keep here. Scotty driving in, looking for that near side post, and it just goes wide. Ground to make sure the play is onside. Here she goes once more, knifing through the neutral zone, trying to generate an offensive rush. She just scored Burlington's first goal a moment ago. Coming back for Fenwick, Eleanor Rose Smiley up against 5 defenders. And Fenwick able to keep it in. Chasing after it here on the near side, Danielle Shaw. And she'll ring it around the boards for Burlington as they try to make their way up the wing. Alexander. Fenwick, as this game is really starting to wind down. We're under 5 minutes to go in the game. Mulvihill drops it back. Wunderlich shot. Another save made by Cecilia Weilenberg.
Yeah, just a good stop there. Good a look here on the replay. That one just goes right in her chest protector. Easy save there for Weilenberg. And we got 4:37 left to go in the third period, so still got some time for the Grizzlies to make a comeback here, but we're inside crunch time, and my crunch time is that 5-minute mark.
We certainly are. 4:26 to go in the contest. A centering pass just missing the stick of Maya Martinez, one of Burlington's all-stars this year. Martinez, Maddie Sagebrecht, and Addie Proctor, who is not at this game. There's a nice save made there by Mikey Romero. On the other side, Fenwick sent 4 all-stars to the all-star game. Julia Matke, who we haven't seen tonight. Greta Lyle, same story, and Caitlin Dill. So all 3 skaters, as well as their all-star goalie, Emma Richley, could not make it tonight. Fenwick playing a little bit short-handed, but they do have a lead, 3-1, with 4 minutes to play. And here's Mulvihill looking for her second goal of the game, but just losing it through a couple of skates. And Wunderlich fighting to keep it in. Might be a 2-on-1 if they hurry, coming back the other way. That shot goes a little bit too high, Fatino.
Yeah, the hit off the stick of Scotty. That's why that just goes sailing high, but I tell you what, that's a big play there, 2-on-1. You know, if you're the Grizzlies there, you want to see that in the back of the net, especially we got 3.5 minutes left to go in the third.
Tree left on the clock. This is a Blackhawks rivalry game, so we got to pay homage to the great Pat Foley. As that save made there by Weilenberg. She's done an excellent job thrust into duty here in the third period. I'm not sure if there was any injury or anything like that to Alexander, or simply just allow both goaltenders some time on the ice here in the Blackhawks rivalry series. Off the board, frees the puck up. Alexander takes it with some space. Sullivan fires, and a nice pad save. Rebound is loose, and it's gobbled up and taken out of harm's way. Scotty able to send it toward the neutral zone. Great job from Scotty to remove that puck from harm's way.
Yeah, you could see there Sullivan almost sneaks one there on the short side. She had an easier time than normal getting past Scotty, as Scotty's got to be pretty tired, and I'm sure as well as the rest of all these other girls on the ice, but we almost had a 3-2 game.
There's Chloe Arians with some speed, gets a nice shot off, and it's fought off by Romero. And that puck is cleared out of play. But like Max Anderson pointed out on our broadcast the other day, that's one of the rules that's different between the NHL and high school hockey. Those aren't going to be penalties when you clear it out of play.
Yeah, and actually last broadcast, Jimmy had a montage of all the times GBN threw the puck into the neutral bench. Fortunately, I can't see that in this broadcast because that's the first time that a puck got flipped into a bench.
Can Burlington generate some more offense? Chloe Arians into the slot. Still fighting to drive that puck toward the net. Ultimately, she hits the deck, and it comes back the other way for the Friars. Kodowitz, a late arrival. Can she make a late arrival on the score sheet? It's denied by Weilenberg. Scotty, as Burlington might be trying to cherry pick a little with Arians as they try to get some more offense. A smart move from Fenwick just to dump that in. They were trying to stretch past looking for Arians, Alexander, but they couldn't reach. We're under 2 minutes to play in the contest. Burlington has reached past crunch time. Now they're in desperation time. What are they going to be able to do? Gemma Flaming gets it up ahead. Mia Sullivan gets it taken away by Scotty. A brilliant defensive effort. She walks right in. She shoots just wide, and she crashes down to the ice. Had so much momentum on that shot, she couldn't keep her footing. Fotino on the near side with some speed. Looking for somewhere to go with the puck, and Scotty takes it right back. 1 minute and 24 seconds left in the game. Fenwick closing in on a rivalry series win. Wunderlich into the offensive zone near the circle. She'll wrap it around, tries a centering pass. She connects the shot and a goal. Brooke Fogel with her second of the game.
Yeah, how about that centering pass there by Wunderlich? Gets that out to Vogel, and she makes no mistake, puts that past. Weilenberg gives Fenwick a 4-1 lead. I mean, you get a fantastic look here of the replay as Fenwick capitalizes, makes no mistake on that one, and that's going to seal the deal more than likely for the Friars. Here's a good look at it there. Just goes just above the glove, and you can about imagine that's going to be the final score of this one. Is actually Weilenberg's doing the, or sorry, not Weilenberg. Wunderlich was doing the chicken dance.
Certainly feels like the icing on the cake for a Fenwick win to cap off our 2024-2025 Blackhawks rivalry series presented by Body Armor, the premium sports drink that provides superior hydration. Under a minute to go. Wunderlich and Fenwick looking for some more. Arians reached up with her glove to try to catch that puck. Instead, it goes off of her paw, and it comes back around the other side as Burlington still giving their best effort to get back on the score sheet. They did score once in this third period, but that's all so far. 21 seconds left in the contest, and we'll have a whistle stopping the clock with 19.9. I believe
hand pass, because normally it's not called in the defensive zone, but the it was almost thrown like a baseball as opposed to just batted out of the air. So that was the reason for the whistle.
Fenwick wins the draw, and they have about 17 seconds to burn before they close in on a rivalry series win. 10 seconds to go. Mia Sullivan looking for somewhere to go with it. And it comes back to the near circle. Fotino into the glove, out of the glove. It's still loose out in front, and the buzzer sounds right before Mikey Romero makes a save at the buzzer to clinch a Fenwick 4-1 victory over Burlington. What an effort from these Friars to cap off the 2024-2025 rivalry series.
And how about that for a conclusion to the Blackhawks rivalry series? Fenwick able to take this one. Final score 4-1. Just a great event put on by the Blackhawks to really boost high school hockey for the boys and girls division. You can see the handshakes of these teams after the conclusion of the game. One of the my favorite things. I think that's one of your favorite things as well, too, right? If I remember correctly.
Absolutely. I think one of the greatest traditions in a hockey sport that is filled with great traditions is the handshakes. The teams will gather on center ice for a rivalry series picture. And they'll also congratulate each other. As we mentioned, some of these players are teammates on different club teams. And they'll earn some bragging rights amongst their friends as Fenwick takes this rivalry series game 4-1 over Burlington. Fenwick had goals scored by Brooke Vogel. She had a pair, Eleanor Rose Smiley and Kate Mulvihill. And getting the win in the net, Mikey Romero was excellent in between the pipes. For Burlington, their lone goal scorer was Chloe Arians. We've got Jenna Rose standing by with the head coach of Fenwick, Mason Strom. Take it away, Jenna.
Thank you so much, guys. Coach, congratulations. 4-1 win here tonight. What stood out to you the most from your team's performance?
I'd say effort and discipline. We were a little short. There's a lot of out-of-town tournament and travel teams we're at. And so we just talked about keeping the game simple, moving the puck, letting the puck do the work, not trying to skate it up individually all game, keeping short shifts, and then just wearing down the other team, outworking them, moving pucks to the net.
Well, you started off by talking about effort and discipline. We saw that from Brooke Vogel, finding the back of the net twice tonight. And I mean, for her to do that with 90 seconds remaining in the game, what stood out to you in that moment?
I think just the play that she ran at the blue line with defenseman Gabby Ledoux. Puck got moved up to Gabby. It was a bit of a shaky pass. So the shooting lane was there, but then they closed down the shooting lane. Girl that should have been covering Brooke on the Grizzlies moved up to take the shooting lane away from Gabby, and it broke this lane to walk in and pick her shot. She had a really nice finish on it.
And at the end of the day, as you mentioned, it is a full-round team effort. What is going to be your message to the team as you guys celebrate this win for the final Blackhawks rivalry series of the season?
I think this is 2 in a row for us now. We won a couple weeks ago on senior night, and goals the second half have been hard to come by. We've been creating a lot of chances, but just haven't been a little snake bitten. So putting up 4 tonight is a big confidence boost. Our assistant coach, Kirsten, she went up to Brooke in the handshake line. She said, "Great game. Can you do that tomorrow night?" Got a big tilt with Naper Valley, and we've scored 1-2 goals against them. So it'd be great to put up a 4 spot on them tomorrow night.
Well, I think after a night like this, as you mentioned, the momentum will carry through. So, Coach, congratulations, and I hope you're able to enjoy this moment with you and your team.
Definitely. And my kids got to meet Tommy Hawk tonight. So it was an all-around great night, and thank you very much.
He's a popular guy, but thank you so much. We're sending it back up to you guys upstairs.
Thank you, Jenna. Tommy Hawk, of course, the #1 star of the game at any game he is in attendance. David, any final thoughts from you?
Anthony, I think this was a great conclusion. The high school rivalry series, trying to grow the high school girls hockey, eventually make it the primary team for these girls, but it's only a matter of time before that happens.
Absolutely. The Chicago Blackhawks and J&M Media, thank you for watching tonight's rivalry series game between the Fenwick Friar girls and the Burlington Grizzlies girls. Continue to follow the action of these 2 Illinois Metro girls teams by visiting www.metrogirlshockey.com. This concludes the 2024-2025 rivalry series. Deerfield beat Highland Park 7-2. The DuPage Stars beat Lyons Township 8-5. St. Rita beat Mount Carmel 4-2. Lake Forest topped Carmel Catholic 4-1 in our outdoor game. And tonight, Fenwick girls beat the Burlington girls 4-1. We hope you enjoyed all of the coverage from the rivalry series this season. Thank you to our partners at the Blackhawks, especially Jenna Rose for her outstanding work on ice level tonight. For our camera operators, Gerard Boris and Luke Jordan, and our technical operator and producer, Jimmy the Wiz Olson. For David Ventura, my name's Anthony Pasquale saying so long from Paul Ruby Ice Arena. Thank you for joining us on this cap off of the 2024-2025 rivalry series. Fenwick beats Burlington 4-1. We hope you enjoyed all of the coverage and enjoy the rest of your night.